Hi, this is Morley and this is the M-Wire with another update on La Palma for November 17th, 2021. Folks, I am so here to tell you that La Palma is absolutely and positively rocking with earthquakes right now. And when I say rocking, I am literally talking about 300 plus earthquakes in the last 24 hours. I believe that is a new record. And just a few mere days ago, there were 35 earthquakes in a 24-hour period on La Palma. The earthquake activity there is absolutely off the proverbial charts in terms of quantity. Just take a look at this if you will. Folks, this is absolute madness for a small little island like La Palma to have this kind of earthquake activity in a 24-hour period. There have been over 100 quakes over 3.0 in magnitude in the last 24 hours. That is absolutely and positively beyond insane. And needless to say, this is in sharp contrast to those that were saying just a couple of days ago, oh, it looks like La Cumbre Vieja is dying down, nothing really to see here anymore. Well, I wonder what they're saying now. They obviously don't have that opinion, and they've obviously changed their tune considerably. Folks, a volcano is not like a light switch where you just shut it off and it just stops like that. It just doesn't work that way. This is going to be a sustained eruption, I would say, probably, possibly for even months more, believe it or not. I can't put a precise date on it, neither can the top volcanologists in the world put a precise date on it, but things are definitely in full swing and even going hotter and crazier than they ever have since this eruption began on September 19th. And no, I am not sensationalizing in the least by making a statement like that. Folks, take a good hard look at this graph here. Look at since the middle of the 15th, which is just a couple of days ago, and look where we're at now. Look at how much the earthquake activity has increased in just 2 mere days. That shouldn't be shocking to you. We've seen this to greater or lesser degrees throughout this entire eruption. This is nothing new. There are periods of greater activity, there are periods of lesser activity, and right now we are potentially seeing the greatest earthquake activity since the eruption began on September 19th. This is absolutely off the chain right now. In fact, so much so that flights canceled and classes suspended again as La Palma eruption affects the air quality. The air quality on La Palma is going downhill fast with this uptick in activity, uptick in ash, uptick in SO2. Air quality is deteriorating on the Spanish island of La Palma, according to experts monitoring a volcanic eruption that began there on September 19th. There were school closures and flight cancellations on Tuesday due to worsening air conditions, particularly in the valley of Ariane and the western side of the island. La Palma is part of the Canary Islands, a Spanish archipelago located off the northwestern coast of Africa. Folks, I think La Palma is even starting to blindside volcanologists because they seem to be under the impression that sometimes too that, yeah, maybe the eruption is subsiding. And then all of a sudden it just flares back up again, like literally within a day's time. And they're just like, well, gee, we thought it was calming down. So much we know. I mean, this is how wildly unpredictable and uncanny a volcano can be, folks. This is it right here. La Palma is the epitome of that statement right here. Now, folks, there are some unsubstantiated reports. I've tried to find articles supporting this, but according to some, there are small landslides starting to happen as the result of the earthquake activity on La Palma. Now, the strongest earthquake that they've had in the past 24 hours was a 4.8 that was probably over 5, but of course they downgraded it, as they so often do these days, as they do not want to hurt the revenue from the tourism industry from people coming to the island to see an erupting volcano. But if that so happens to be true, that is very, very compelling that there could be potentially even greater landslides, and perhaps even the biggest landslide, and you know the one I'm talking about, the one that we all pray never ever happens. Yes, I'm referring to the one that would cause the mega tsunami and cause approximately half the island to fall into the ocean. Now, I'm going to get into Volcano Discovery's report on this, and just from the tone of this report, I want you to comment in the comments below if you kind of see this. It almost seems like Volcano Discovery is blindsided by this utter and sheer uptick in earthquake activity and volcanic activity on La Palma. They seem almost blindsided, if you will. Let me know what you think. After almost 2 months of continuous eruption, there are no signs it might end soon. On the contrary, the activity, both external and internal, has continued to intensify again today, with strong ash emissions during extended phases and more surface lava flows near the vent as well as downslope. Volcanic tremor has been increasing, suggesting that the rate of magma flowing towards the erupting at the surface has also become higher again. The new surge of lava reactivated the flow front that stalled between Montana Todoke and Laguna. Other flows are active on top of the lava field near the vents, while the bulk of lava seems to be reaching and increasing the new combined lava delta at the coast. Yes, the lava delta is growing at an alarming rate. It's getting farther and farther out to sea. I believe the last number they have is 40 hectares. That's a fair chunk of land in my opinion. Perhaps most notably, the earthquake activity has drastically jumped up during the past 24 hours. There were more than 100 quakes above magnitude 3 in total, mostly around the 12-kilometer depth, but also 2 larger quakes of magnitudes 4.7 and 4.8 at 7:17 a.m. and 12:33 p.m. respectively, both at around 38 kilometers depth. On the other hand, estimated gas emissions have decreased to 2,000 to 3,000 tons of SO2 yesterday and 2,000 to 2,500 tons of CO2. Ground deformation has remained similar in the past days, but also decreased a bit. Folks, this eruption is not going to end anytime soon. I know that's what a lot of people don't want to hear, but that is just stark reality. The evidence is there. There can be periods that there's not really too much happening on La Palma, but that would have to be the case for a very sustained period of time for myself, or anyone for that matter, to logically conclude that this eruption is coming to a close. If anything, it is getting stronger and it is getting more violent by the day. Which brings us to the time of the video where I tell you, I'm almost to the point where I implore you actually, you need to have a bug-out bag, a full tank of gas at least, and a place to go if the worst happens and the island cracks in half, falls into the ocean, causes a mega tsunami, wipes out the entire eastern seaboard of the United States and probably a lot of European countries as well. My European audience, if you're listening, this applies to you too. Because, like I say, there will be 8 to 9 hours in this dire situation for you to get to safety. Bug-out bag, tank of gas, place to go. Folks, it's better to err on the side of caution. I'm not asking you to go out and buy all this equipment and spend thousands of dollars and all these precautions and whatnot. What I'm telling you to do can be done literally in 15 minutes at the most, okay? It may mean the difference between you acting quickly and diligently if something apocalyptic, if you will, happens, and you can get to safety in time. But folks, this volcano isn't slowing down. There simply is no evidence that we can possibly deduce this at this time. But thank you so much for coming along with me to my update, folks. Please share the video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And until the next La Palma update, God bless.